Good evening or good morning, wherever you're listening to. So, welcome to Puro Ka Laro. This is a new podcast that we have. My name is Jamie, and my partner in crime here is
I'm John.
John. Okay, so who we are. So, we start this off siguro kung if we're gonna introduce ourselves. So, we're just two gamers. So, me, I represent probably the video gaming world, and John here represents the board game, di ba, John?
Board game, video game din.
Video game din. Siyempre, every one of us naman nakapaglaro na ng board game at video game, di ba? So, yon. So, why are we here? Why did we start this show? So, wala. Ano ba yon? Ano ba yun dyan? Pag-usapan lang natin, di ba? Ano mo magandang simulan? Kasi I think we started off uh, thinking that we're gonna do some vlogs, di ba? Kaya lang, everyone was like doing vlogs and all that. So, yon. So, mas mabilis to eh. Yeah, mas mabilis to eh pag sa podcast and everything. So, we don't have to write it. It's not scripted. It's casual and everything. So,
Ang objective would be a Philippine version of a gaming review podcast.
oh, exactly. So, eventually we'll be doing some video game reviews here. Pero we would just want to start off on some introductions on why we're doing this and everything. Pero first off, 'di ba? Why puro kalaro, 'di ba? So if you've heard that term before, puro kalaro, puro ka kasi laro, 'di ba? I mean, kaya saan ba natin narinig 'yun diyan? Mga nanay, 'di ba?
Sa mga nanay.
Kahit mga girlfriends sasabihin 'yan eh. 'Di ba? Puro kalaro, ako naman! Di ba? Meron pa nga dati, may mga meme, di ba? Dota o ako. Yeah. So, I mean, yung mga ganong kasimpleng ano lang is, why not, di ba? Puro kalaro. So, here, talagang puro laro ang pag-uusapan nila, whether it be like video games or board games, kahit family game, kahit Monopoly, pag-usapan natin dito, di ba? Mga old school Monopoly, pag-uusapan natin dito. So, yun. Yun nga. Ang usually what we're gonna talk about here is mostly video games, what are the hot trends, di ba? Sa board games, di ba? Kung may bagong labas, I mean, we're gonna review most of them. Diba? Kasi nauuso yung nauuso yung mga
Board
video,
game cafes.
parang board game cafe, yung restaurant, yung mga I think what's the restaurant in Maginhawa? Snakes and Lag. I think I forgot. I mean, murdering their name
Ludo.
right now. Oh, Ludo. Ludo. Luma na yung Ludo, no? Tagal na nun, no? Mga gumraduate na yata yung mga unang nakapasok sa Ludo sa college. Diba? Tapos, my friend Jay from Kamikaze actually owns a restaurant, chain of restaurants ngayon. I think dalawa na yata isa sa Pasig. First is Maginhawa, yeah. Laruan at iba pa. So, yan. Punta kayo doon kung gusto nyo. Okay doon. Masarap yung pagkain. Actually, doon sa I mean, I'm murdering their name right now. So, I think Snakes and Ladders, I think, is their restaurant.
Meron din Hungry Meeple
Saan yun?
sa Quezon City. Not sure where.
Okay. Snacks and Ladders. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So, Snacks and Ladders. I think I've been there because I think my girlfriend's nephew actually celebrated his birthday there. I think 10th birthday. So, ay mahilig sa board games, yung mga ganyan. So, yun. When we were checking out the place, actually, nagyaya yun eh. Nagyaya yun na. Talaga? Hungry Meeples is owned by Itendero. Oh, wow. Okay. Instant plugging, ha? So, saan to?
Hindi ako sure.
Hindi ka sure?
Hindi pa ako nakapunta dun.
Hindi ka wala nakapunta? Kasama natin mga kaibigan.
Eh,
Ano?
north
Congressional
siya, ako
is,
south eh.
sa bagay. Congressional Avenue, malapit lang sa amin. Okay, kasalanan ko pala Sige, puntahan ka namin minsan ha? I-invite din natin si Iman sa podcast na
Yes.
makapag-plug siya ng kanyang maliit na store. Okay yan. Yeah, friends helping friends yan. So, ayun. Bale, yun nga, what we're gonna be talking about here mostly is like video games, and board games, all throughout. So, whatever comes to our mind, probably what's the hottest at the time, gaming news, video gaming news, mga ganyan. I'll handle it from my end. Actually, mostly be talking about board games. Diba? Ano ba nilalaro mo ngayon dyan? Kanina parang nakita ko naglaro kayo ng anak mo
Oo. So, naglaro kami nung Splendor. Parang
Ano ba yun?
siya eh.
Card game, di ba?
Ay, parang card game, deck building style, yung mechanic niya. So, meron kang resources. You try to get yung cards. Some of them may points. First to 15 win.
Talaga. So, meron may tokens, ganyan.
Oo.
Kasi para may tokens yun, di ba? Usually, pag ganyan, may tokens eh. Yan. Ano ba yung... Wala. If I'm an amateur when it comes to board games, man. I mean, ano bang nalaro ko? Yun nga, yung sinabi ko sa'yo before, yung Call of Cthulhu. Ngayon, hindi ko na natatandaan. I don't know. Party games, siguro. Actually, me and my kids actually played yung doon sa laruan natin ba pa we played Cards Against Humanity. And, I mean, these guys, I mean, of course, parang, rated 18, di ba? Ang Oo, medyo masyadong adult talaga yung topics and everything kasi dark humor yung ginagamit nila, di ba? So, I mean, it's funny because my kids know about most of the pop culture that they can get kung ano yung sinasabi nun. Like, I mean, alam nila yung Obama and everything kasi may mga ganun dun di ba? So, I mean, it's like, grabe yung mga jokes na nila. Minsan, basta pinapasa na lang nila, basta nagme-make sense, binibigay na kagad nila sa akin. Sabi ko, panalo to. Sabi ko, panalo to. May mga kasi sobrang dark kasi yan. I mean, folks, kung naglaro na kayo ng Cards Against Humanity, if hindi pa, you guys need to try it out. Kasi yun nga, you don't need to buy these, ngayon, di ba? You don't need to buy these games ngayon kasi may mga restaurants na nga ganyan. So, hindi ka na problema ng, paano yung pagkain ko sa mga guest ko, tapos anong games lalaroin kasi ito lang meron ako, di ba? So, you guys can go there, these restaurants already have these games, and you can just choose, di ba?
And besides, kung curious ka sa isang game, you could try dun sa isang board game cafe. Pag nagustuhan mo, bibili mo. At least you've tried it.
Ay, tama.
Diba?
They have something for sale most of the time. Siyempre. Pag sobra, yung mga doble-doble na yung games nila. May mga kopya naman sila, folks. Kung may mga kopya naman silang doble, let's say if one particular game is popular, of course they have spares to lend you guys. Tapos, kung hindi nyo naman alam, you and your friends would go there, hindi nyo alam yung game, these restaurants usually have game masters. Yung mga waiters nila are hired to instruct you guys how to play. So, yun. Win-win situation yun. Kasi, di ba? Andun kayo, minsan para kumain and everything, tapos may nakita kayong board game. Paano ba yan? Hindi ko alam eh. So, Filipinos, di ba? Nakakahiyain eh. Pero, di ba? Pero makukulit yung mga to. So, you guys want to play something, anong gusto nyo, tapos may recommendation sila kung anong gusto nyong laro and everything. So, these guys are friendly, they're trained for it. So, yun. Punta lang kayo sa mga stores na to. So, yun nga. Hungry Meeples, Ludo, Snacks and Ladders, and laruan at iba pa. Yun.
Yeah. Sa Alabang, merong puzzles. Sumulito.
Talaga puzzles. Buti mo,
Mm.
bago pa. So, I mean, it's all across Metro Manila. You just have to research it. Yun lang, di ba? So, okay na. Hindi ka na mag-iisip eh. Lahat yan. All-in-one na yan. Tsaka maganda yung upuan nila doon. May mga couches sila doon. May mga sa sahig ka lang uupo with pillows and everything. So, yan. Maganda usually yung mga setup nila. Don't ask for peace and quiet in those areas kasi sisigawan yung mga tao doon. Kasi ako noon, ang pinaka kinaadikan ko na game, I mean, it's not a board game though, pero it's a card game. I think it's yung, alam ng iba to, di ba? So, Magic the Gathering. Na-addict ako doon, pare. Sobrang na-addict ako doon. I mean, nag-start ako, revised edition. Tapos, wala. Ice Age ka nag-start. Ako, revised edition. Alam mo yun, yung parang wala lang akong paki sa mga cards ko, ganyan-ganyan. After mga 2-3 editions, ang mahal na pala ng card. So, pinagsisisiyan ko, ay shit, hindi na siya mid-condition. Parang bebenta to. Pero yun, nabenta ko rin yung iba na ano ko. Kasi, I mean, for those who know Magic the Gathering, or for those who know those, I mean, just to give you an overview, I mean, it's a card game, may mga spells, di ba? May land, may creatures, enchantments, and all that. I don't know kung merong pambagong ano ngayon, kasi yun yung naabutan ko. Tapos, meron sila mga editions. So, kung mga nauna ka naglaro and you kept your cards, yung value na yun tumataas. Kasi I think, how much is Black Lotus nowadays? $10,000 pa rin ba? I think the last is Black Lotus yung meron kang video nun eh. Meron video ganun sa YouTube. I saw it a few years ago now. This guy actually opened an old pack of Alpha Edition na hindi niya pa, mint condition kasi, hindi, isang box. Nakakita siya ng nanginginig-ginig siya. Kasi nung ako rin nung pinapanood ko lang, nanginginig ako. Sabi ko, wow, dun pa lang bawing-bawi na yung puhunan mo. I mean, I think it's $10,000 or $5,000 for a card that, it's not even playable anymore unless kung friendly game lang, di ba? Kasi may ban yun eh. May ban siya, mga type 1, 1.5. So, all you can play is like type 2, which is yung mainstream. Kasi yung iba, sobrang lakas ng cards, hindi mo pwedeng laruin. So, yan. Video games, anong nilaro mo ngayon?
Recently, Battletech. Na-miss ko yung turn-based.
Grabe yung nangilalaro ko ngayon, Chong. Siguro nakatatlong ulit ako ng save kasi I was like, I'm losing money here. So sabi ko, ano bang to? So, syempre, doon tayo. Back to the instructional YouTube. Diba? How to, yung mga basics yan. Diba? Alam ko, ginagawa rin ng ibang gamers yan. Parang, paano ba itong laro na to? So, pumunta ko sa YouTube, may pa-expert dyan na kahit pa paano knows what he's talking about. So, he's gonna give you the basics, yung mga ganyan. Pero these videos are like, 23 minutes, 30 minutes long. Yeah. Meron naman mga short lang, yung mga parang medyo commercialized version. Bigay ng mga IGN, mga ganyan. 5 minutes lang.
Mas prefer mo yung you figure it out o yung lang?
Both. Pero if I'm stuck, hindi naman ako mahilig mag-walkthrough. Pero yung, yung parang,
so, ang question here is, gaano katagal yung threshold mo sa stuck?
Mabilis ako pagdating sa sa RPGs. So, siguro mga an hour, mga 3 hours. Yun yung yun yung parang, shall we say, learning curve ko. Pag hindi ko na-gets yung laro, doon na ako pupunta sa other sources. So parang, tama ba yung ginagawa ko? Ganito ba laruin to? Kasi syempre, you're gonna come into a game, they're gonna tell you, it's an RPG, it's ganyan, tas kung let's say, ano ba yung setting is like, what medieval or spells or ganyan. Syempre, you've been playing for years or decades, di ba? Para sa, okay, sige, alam ko na, I get the idea. Tapos when you get into it, it's like, what are these guys trying to do? Paano ba laruin to? Di ba?
Mm-mm.
Kasi you're trying to do what you know, kung ano yung alam mo, but you end up parang, ba't ako namamatay sa mga to? Ang dali-dali lang naman, yung ganyan-ganyan, di ba? So, dun ko inaano yung mga intricate details, katulad sa Battletech. Let's talk about Battletech. In Battletech is, I didn't know that, I mean, when I first played it, I was like, okay, gets ko turn-based, tapos titira siya. Tapos I have my, I played, I think my first Battletech game was like, uh, Mech Commander, Windows, DOS pa yata yun. Windows, I think. Windows 95, I think. Yun. Mech Commander, may mga ano pa ngayon, nakakatawa pa ngayon kasi the games then was like Red Alert and everything, di ba? And Red
Mm-mm.
Alert was like, they'd hire actors instead of rendering yung ano nila, yung CGI, yung parang in-game cutscenes, di ba? They'd hire
Oo.
actors to really act, tapos they put it in the game.
Mm-mm.
So, ganun din yung Mech Commander. Real actors din yung mga ano niya. Kaya lang, the game is quite the same as what Battletech is now. Pero noon kasi, mas ngayon madali mag-salvage, di ba? Madali mag-salvage ngayon, at least may makukuha kang parts. Noon,
Oo.
wala. Pag sumabog yung mech na yon, wala na yon. Pag napasabog mo yung mech na yon, pag nakita mo doon sa screen talaga na sumabog siya, wala kang
Mm-mm.
makukuha salvage nun. So parang sabi ko, oo. Kaya natatawa ako kasi there's like this voiceover. There's this line from this the game Battletech. Like he'd say, "I hope we can salvage that." Kasi sumabog eh.
Oo.
So, di ba? I think
Oo.
you've heard it, di
Actually,
ba? Parang,
at meron atang mode ata itong Battletech na if you set it there, pag
ah,
sumabog, wala ka talaga makukuha.
okay. Dapat kasi talaga ganon. Kasi, let's say, a torso
Oh,
exploded, di ba? Dapat
mm-mm.
wala ka talaga makukuha. Pati yung LRM, no? Kung
Oh.
LRM yun,
So, ang
or yung
strategy
laser.
mo is yung legs lang palagi.
Oo. Dito kasi parang ano eh. Kaya lang, I think they limit it na parang ano eh. May RNG siya eh. May RNG factor siya eh.
Ah,
For those who don't know, RNG is like, ano ba yun? Ano bang acronym na RNG?
um,
Ano yun?
random number generator.
Random number generator. So it's like, depending on how you pick the mission, di ba? If you went to like more of how many money it will give versus how many salvage are you gonna get, di ba? So you
Ah,
have priority salvage, I think up to 4 most of the time, di ba? Up to 4, or
ah,
depending on the mission. Depending on the
mm-mm.
mission, you can prioritize salvages. Pero yun lang, tapos the rest are random RNG na talaga, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Kaya minsan swerte ka na lang eh. Kung dalawa lang yung nakuha mong, yun, yung negotiation mo, dalawa lang yung salvage mo, hindi ka makakabuo ng mech nun. Pero at least, medyo malaki yung take home mo na pera.
Correct.
For those who haven't played Battletech, it's a turn-based strategy that involves yung battle mech story. I mean, this is I think, an old RPG, di ba?
Mm.
Yung paper and paper and pen RPG pa nun, kasama ng mga Dungeons and Dragons, Battletech. You'd have a map and everything, and you're dealing with mechs instead of like swords and tapos instead of weapons, like swords and bows, you're dealing with like lasers, machine guns, and everything that you put onto your battle mech itself. Diba? The story is large. It's gonna take us how many hours to actually tell it off. Kasi
Mm-mm.
maraming versions yan, may mga libro yan. It's been
Oo.
there for decades, di ba?
Probably
So,
yung timeline niya is could rival yung Star Wars na timeline.
oh, exactly. Di ba? Oh, so, set in like space more often than not. Iba-ibang planets and everything, ganyan. So, pero it just involves humanity, di ba? Wala namang aliens doon, di ba?
Wala.
Wala,
Merong
no?
merong storya na a group went away. Tapos pagbalik nila, super strong. Yun ang
Ah,
tinatawag na the clans.
ah. Okay. So parang parang mutated lang, ganun lang. Pero human pa rin,
Human pa rin.
Human pa rin, Kasi baka the others are thinking Battletech, it's nothing like Warhammer 40,000 guys, ah. So
Ah, hindi.
Warhammer 40K is totally different. So, o nga pala, for those who love tabletop games then, you're also welcome in this podcast. Probably pretty soon, we're gonna talk about tabletops and everything. Warhammer 40K, all of those in Warhammer lang, uh, the normal settings in Warhammer 40K. Alam ko may mga iba pa dyan. Tumanda na lang talaga kayo. Wala na kasing nakaka-afford ng vision nyo. O kaya nag-Gundam na lang kayo, di ba? Kasi hobbyist ang tabletop eh. It's not
Ah,
just playing the game. I mean, playing the game is complicated already.
mm,
Yung set pieces, pag binili mo yon, lahat yun gray lang. Ikaw
ah,
magkukulay nun isa-isa. And like, how many pieces is that? Like 100 plus? Depende kung, I don't know, I included. So, if you guys have inputs for us, we'd love to hear about it, when you hear this podcast. So, yeah. Tabletop gamers, you guys are welcome here. So, yun. I mean, all throughout, we're talking about games, video games, and all that. Okay? So, di ba? But the other most question is, di ba? Which comes out to our main topic here at podcast, in this podcast, Puro Ka Laro. Why Filipinos love video games? Or basically love games in general, di ba? Kasi lahat ng laro eh.
mm,
Di ba? Which spawned the title of this podcast, Puro Ka Laro, di ba? Kasi ano ba tingin talaga ng isang Filipino na ah, tungkol sa paglalaro, di ba? Pambata lang ba to? Pang matanda? Siyempre ngayon, may argument, hindi, may mga matatanda na naglalaro. Oo nga. Pero how do we view it, di ba? Why do we love it so much? Pero why have others also, um, let's say, shy away from it? Di ba? Parang ayaw din nila, dinidetest din nila yung games and all that. So it's again a battle of um, bata versus matanda again. Diba? Ano ba ginagawa ng matatanda? It's actually, I mean, right now, in our age dyan, di ba? Parang, nasa na ba yung mga grown-ups na yan? Nung bata tayo, di ba?
mm,
Uh, ngayon, tayo na yun eh. Di ba?
correct.
So, di ba? Pero we're doing our due diligence, we're paying our bills and everything. Di ba? Pero we're still playing the games that we love from way before. It's just a different graphics, it's different setting and everything. Mas maganda na siya ngayon, mas matagal na siyang laruin. Pwede mo na siyang i-save, hindi katulad ng mga
Ah,
panahon
oo.
nun. Di ba?
Iron
Tata
Man.
Oo. Dati Iron Man, di ba? Lahat ng games
Iron
nun,
Man
Iron
mode
Man.
po.
Exactly. Naalala ko pa yung tito ko nun eh. Kasi they had I didn't have video games noon. Pero meron akong family computer. Pero I didn't have Mario. I was probably the only family computer owner that didn't have Mario. So, hinaram ko lang yung Mario na yon sa iba. I'd play at home. Pero, my, the father side, my uncles and titas and everything, had a Nintendo Entertainment System. So, automatic na yon. Anong free game doon? Di mayroon silang Mario tsaka Duck Hunt, di ba?
Oh, Duck Hunt.
Di ba? Mario tsaka Duck Hunt, I think that's the first that came with the system, 2-in-1 yon. So, Mario and Duck Hunt, so they'd ask me, laro tayo Mario kasi mga bata kami. So, yan, laro tayo Mario. Pero they didn't know I knew how to play Mario. Pero when they got the gist na ay marunong to si Jamie maglaro, they'd even say na, ay si Jamie na maglalaro, magbasa muna kayo ng dyaryo, hindi matatapos yan. Kasi magdating doon, automatic na yun. If you're a Mario player, for those who are Mario players out there, Pagkatapos mo ng 1-1, 1-2. Di ba? Stage 1-2. Pagkatapos mo ng 1-2, 3-1 ka na. Tapos 100 lives ka na. Di ba? Tapos lalaroin mo yon hanggang 4th, I think 3-4. And then you're gonna go to 8-1. And then you're gonna finish the game. So that's how I played all the time. If I died, I still have 100 lives. Game over na si Mario, si Luigi, meron pang 100 lives. So yun yung laro ko noon kasi hindi nila alam yung 100 lives noon. Pero yun yung ano, di ba? Ikaw, what are your experiences before? Ano ba yung unang-unang game na nilaro mo?
Ang natatandaan ko lang, Baldur's Gate. At saka there's something before that, I forgot. Eye of the Beholder.
Eye of the Beholder, yeah, I remember that.
Yung
Pero,
RPG na blocky pa yung yung map.
oo naman.
Yung wala pang minimap pa nun. Meron ka pang graphing paper para diba?
Seryoso, ang first game mo is Baldur's Gate?
Hindi. Merong game before that. I forgot na kung ano yung name.
Mm.
But I remember kasi overnight kami doon sa barkada ko eh. Parang walang tulugan eh. Tapos kasi puro puzzle games eh. Puzzle. Basta may mga areas of puzzles talaga. You have to figure out kung paano makalusot doon. So, we take turns.
Tama.
Tapos overnight yun, the whole day.
So talagang ever since, board games talaga ikaw
Ay, hindi board game to. Ano to?
Sa computer?
PC. Yung Pentium 4.
Pentium
DX.
4 na Diyos ko. Ako siguro, yung first game ko ever na natatandaan ko, I think I was 3 years old. I was playing Nintendo Game & Watch. Octopus. Yun yung unang-unang game ko. Hindi ko malilimutan yun. Kasi hindi ko alam kung paano siya laruin eh. Basta alam ko, tumutunog lang siya eh. Di ba? Kaya pakita sa akin eh. The buttons are simple enough. The classic, what do you call this? Classic directional button. Nandun na kagad yun sa Nintendo game. And I think it was created in the 70s and everything. Pero I wasn't born in the 70s. Pero 80s na to. So it was like, I'm playing that, and it was like, I don't know, tumutunog siya eh. Basta alam ko, kailangan pumunta sa treasure, which, at that age, I didn't even reach the treasure. Kung na-reach ko man siya, hindi ako makakabalik sa boat, which is, yun yung ano niya eh. Yun yung, what do you call this, yun yung mechanics niya is, from your boat, you're wearing this, like, old diving suit, di ba, yung mga bakal nun? Parang, I don't know, what's that
yung may
movie?
tube?
Parang, yung may tube, di ba? Parang parang spaceman. Yeah,
Naalala ko yun.
Tapos pupunta ka doon, tapos punta ka sa treasure, pero nasa gitna mo, baga, wala pang boss battle, boss na kagad to. So, meron siyang syempre yung 8 so, haharangin ka niya. Yun yung mechanics niya. So, tapos pagkatapos mo kumuha ng treasure, babalik ka. Yun na yung first point mo. So, you're gonna do that several times, you know. Yun eh. Yun yung pag pinatay mo, tsaka pinahawakan mo yung screen, lahat ng possibilities na galaw nung octopus makikita mo.
LCD screens pa yun dati.
LCD screens na yun. LCD na ba tawag doon? Parang, I don't know what those screens, yung mga dot matrix, yung mga ganyan. Pero yun. Tapos, I still remember I was into Transformers, and my mom was in Japan. She was singing in Japan. She was a professional singer there sa mga hotels, lounge singer. So I was asking her, meron na akong like Transformers, meron na akong Optimus Prime. So syempre, sabi ko sa mom ko, bili mo ako Megatron, di ba? Para kompleto. She didn't buy me a Megatron, man. She bought me a family computer. I was like, wala pa akong nahawakan na video game. Well, Atari. Sa father side ko, may Atari sila and everything. Pero I didn't understand Atari. Ang pangit-pangit ng graphics, di ba? Para siyang mga blocks lang doon sa screen sa TV. So, nung ano na yon, she bought me a family computer. I was like, paano to? Ganito yan. Okay. Naglalaro na ako. So I mean, I think my first two games were I think Adventure Island and Afterburner 2. So
Afterburner
mga
2?
heavy bigat na nga. Oh, ano to eh,
Parang
you know,
naalala ko yun.
oh, Afterburner 2. So, ito yung kahit
Ay,
sinong
oo.
beginner. Oh, kahit sinong beginner palaruin mo na ito. Pag naglaro ng Afterburner 2, kasi gumigilid yung ano eh, yung jet eh. F-15 yun eh. Gumigilid yung jet.
Ito yung
Oo.
perspective mo na sa likod ng jeep.
Oh, exactly. Oh. So, gigilid din yung mga kalaro ko. Pero ako, I don't know, I was innate. Wala, hindi ako gumigilid. Nakatingin lang ako sa screen. Nakanganga lang ako. Kasi nalaro lang ako. Ayun. Yun lang. That's, tapos, ano ba, I didn't own after that, I owned, like, Super Famicom, which is the Japanese version of Super NES.
Hmm.
It's the same games and everything, pero most are in Japanese. So, I think I learned to play Ultima 6 in Japanese. I'd memorize the characters and alam ko yung start, alam ko yung save, alam ko yung continue, yun lang. Pero the story was like lost to me. Alam ko award-winning yata nga Ultima 6 before. So yun, di ba? In terms of Filipinos loving games, di ba? I think maraming crazes dito bukod sa family computer, di ba? I think there was this phase where may brick game phase. Natatanda mo ba yan, pre?
Mm-mm.
Di ba?
Tamagotchi din.
Oh, Tamagotchi, di ba? I mean, yung phases na yon is the innate love of Filipinos pagdating sa mga electronic devices. And most of this are comes in Japan, came from Japan, di ba?
Hmm.
I'm thinking na kahit sino, kasi nung brick game phase, makita mo kahit sino naglalaro ng brick game. Eh.
Oo.
Kahit sino naglalaro ng brick game noon. Di ba? Ayan, dyan lumalabas yung title ng podcast natin. Puro kalaro. Magtrabaho ka nga. Di ba? O mag-aral ka. Kaya, puro kalaro eh. So, di ba? I mean, it's innate to every Filipino na maglaro ng video games. Ngayon, I mean, you'd see, I mean, in the call centers ngayon, di ba? Yung mga, ano bang era ngayon is mobile games, di ba?
Oo.
Handy mobile games. I mean, lahat yan, break nila, lunch nila, maglalaro yan ng isang, ano ba yung, I forgot what's the Dota in mobile games?
Ah, hindi ko na matandaan.
I forgot, man. So I was like, sige, alamin natin yan. Pero yun nga, di ba?
Oo.
Hindi gumawa kasi ang ano, hindi naman gumawa ang Valve ng mobile version ng Dota, di ba? Pero,
Meron na sila.
meron na ba sila?
PUBG Mobile.
PUBG, PUBG.
Di ba? Battle.
Yeah, I think it's Blue Hole. Blue Hole Entertainment, I think, made PUBG. So these are like Korean guys.
Ah,
I think Korean or Chinese or Taiwanese developers. Yeah. So we'll talk about probably PUBG and all that on another podcast kasi maraming
mahabang
controversy.
usapan yan.
Yeah, hindi. Tsaka maraming controversy surrounding PUBG, di ba? Kasi recently, I think in the news, they just sued, what do you call this? They just sued Fortnite developers.
Napakaganda.
Yeah, so ganun kalalim yung usapan na yan. Mabigat yun. Kasi syempre, I mean, Fortnite now is selling like hotcakes.
Mm-mm.
They're overtaking everything. And PUBG is like left in the dust because they're not developing their game. They're
Mm-mm.
creating a lot of, shall we say, medium para sa PUBG. They're in mobile right now. They're opening up in Xbox and PS4, and not only in PC, which was the first one. Kasi di ba early access siya sa Steam and everything. So, ayun, they're opening up. Pero, the same platform, the same game, so the same bugs are in these other platforms. So, yun ang problema ng mga gamers kasi parang, ina-port na siya sa Xbox One and everything, pero it's the same one, it's the same game. So, kung ano sira nung sa PC, yun din. I think mobile is different because they created a whole new
Ah,
port pagdating sa mobile kasi medyo syempre mas maliit yung mapa and everything. It's almost the same thing, pero yung mga extensions niya, mas malapit na yata yung mga cities and everything. I haven't checked it out. Um, Kasi nga, I think the first few levels would be playing with bots first compared to like real world players. Unlike PUBG and PC na it doesn't hold your hand. It just throws you in the walang tutorial, walang ano. Yan na yun, maglaro ka.
yung PUBG.
Oh, yung PUBG, as in talagang massacre ka first. Di ba?
PUBG ang nag-start ng Battle Royale, no?
Hindi. Actually, hindi. PUBG is also, um, it's an iteration or a better version from an earlier model that they made. It was like, I think it's DayZ. Or H1Z1, I think, H1Z1.
Ano,
Nag-start
DayZ
talaga to
first.
DayZ. DayZ talaga yung first. Kasi galing
Oo.
Arma 3, I think eh.
Oo.
Galing Arma 3 to, gumawa ng isang, I think, custom game, di ba? Parang custom game siya.
Mod
Custom
siya
map
ng
siya.
Arma 3. Yung
Oo,
DayZ.
DayZ. Tapos gumawa na rin sila ng sariling game na DayZ. After that, or almost simultaneously, there was this game H1Z1.
Made by Sony.
Oo. So, they like H1Z1 concept, pero they removed the zombies. Magpatayan na lang kayo.
Mm,
Diba? Kasi yun ang, I mean, this has been going on for years, di ba? Maraming videos out there that started from DayZ, and then
mm,
H1Z1, and then PUBG. But the
Oo.
thing is, PUBG, I think, is the first original concept that didn't come from anything. Other than H1Z1, pero H1Z1 was like, maganda siya nung mga beta release and everything, pero nung nag-release siya, wala na naglalaro eh. Parang, there's nothing else to offer. Which is now what PUBG is suffering. Kasi wala na silang ma-offer. The map came up like, second map, I think, for PUBG came out like years when it should be their launch. Dapat marami talagang mapa from launch.
Mm,
Pero yun nga, plus the map itself, the new map, I think the desert map there was, it has bugs of its own. So parang, hindi maganda yung balance ng map kasi parang only a few, what do you call this, only a few parts there, yung mga buildings there would have good loot. So doon
mm.
nagsisiksikan yung mga tao. So hindi enjoyable yung game kasi parang
Oo.
paunahan na lang. My
Okay, so,
experience, my experience of PUBG is like, what? The entire time I'm running across the floor, tapos by the end, I mean, I get through this inside the circle and everything,
mm,
pero I usually end up top 10, pero I haven't killed anyone. The entire time I was running. Yun lang ang ginagawa ko sa game na yun. I was like, tapos battle na sila, magaganda na yung weapons. Ako, wala pa ako napapatay eh. So, alam
mm.
mo yun?
So, PUBG, kasi, ang experience ko lang dyan sa ganyan is si Fortnite kasi mga kids ko naglalaro ng Fortnite.
Mm-hmm. Oo.
But, so PUBG is maraming klaseng map.
Oo.
Tap,
I think it's just two maps eh.
okay.
I could
Kasi
be
sa
wrong. I think
Fortnite,
three maps na ngayon. Three maps na ngayon.
it seems na it's just one map that's evolving palagi.
Oo. Kasi, I think pero, yeah, I think it's just one map. Pero the
Mm-mm.
map is,
Evolving. May
yeah,
story behind it.
exactly. They're adding some PvE content, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Para lang ma-improve yung PvP experience, which is unique
Actually,
pagdating sa
actually
mga
hindi siya
ganyan.
PvE. It's parang, alam mo yun, yung parang side story na
Tama.
you can look at, tas curious ka, pero actually it doesn't affect your game.
Okay. So it just adds on to the, ano ba yun, aesthetics ng game para mas
Mm-mm.
maganda. Ah,
Katulad, pagka-explain sa akin,
mm,
previously daw merong meteorite na bumagsak, tapos merong rocket na nag-launch, tapos nung may tinamaan, may rift. Ngayon meron ng parang time rifts.
I think I saw
So,
that. I saw that yung marami kasing video na lumabas yung on the day itself.
mm-mm,
Na lumabas yon. I think someone was, well, of course, someone was streaming.
mm-mm,
Uh, pero yung the entire scenario and everything, they played it yung first time na lumabas. Of course, now everyone is experiencing it, diba?
oh, pero
Uh,
the game, it's still the same.
it's still the same.
May ibang konti lang sa map. Kunyari yung building na to, wala na kasi natamaan ng meteorite
Mm-hmm.
or na-rebuild na siya. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just refreshing the map.
Mm-hmm.
Pero kaya siguro enjoyable yung ano.
Yeah. So again, I think they're using the same, shall we say, unconscious concept na ginawa ng Overwatch eh.
Ah,
Diba? Kasi, I mean, there's all these serious shooters out there, like Counter-Strike, diba? Counter-Strike, Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty, of course, diba? Pero these are serious games that have serious yung mga shooting mechanics nila, talagang seryoso, yung mga realistic, ultra-realistic, yung story nila, Battlefield, sorry kung may mga Battlefield fans natin, hindi ko nakalimutan yun. So yung Battlefield and everything. So, di ba, lahat yun, ultra-realistic. And then, here comes, what I call this, Overwatch, a game that doesn't actually take itself seriously. Kasi Kenko, yung mga characters, the graphics are cartoony, di ba? Tapos, you can do all these, like, superhero stuff in it, yung mga guns, yung mga abilities nila and everything, di ba? More of a shooter, di ba? If, like, what? A FPS meet, and Dota had a baby, Overwatch lalabas, di ba? So, yun yung ginawa nila. And it takes the same concept na Fortnite, if correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't take itself seriously, di ba? Kasi alam nila, hindi naman bago yung concept natin eh. First, di ba? First person shooter survival game tayo na multiplayer survival, di ba? So, matibay pa rin, Battle Royale, gulo talaga, di ba? Pero, of course, there are modes where, you can squad up, di ba? Pero, the core game is like you alone against everyone else. Di ba? And vice versa for the other players. So, pero, it doesn't take itself here compared to, to PUBG. I don't know kung yung mga directors ng PUBG na pipikon siguro, parang, yung laro nyo Kenkoy eh. Bakit kayong nananalo?
Siguro kasi yung lalo na yung mga games na the clones of yung mga kunyari DayZ revolutionary yun, di ba?
Oo nga.
Tapos Kinopia.
Oo.
But yung the way na other companies na they copy that game is trying to be that game also. Which feeling ko hindi it won't work talaga eh. Kailangan ibahin mo ng konti eh.
Oo nga. Or
gawin mong niche yung ano.
The way they did it is like, yeah, we already know that this is just a clone concept. Pero who says we're taking it, di ba, our game seriously? So, parang pinarody niya talaga yung buong concept ng PUBG eh. So, di ba? Pero which is okay. Di ba? Kasi kasama naman yun sa intellectual property. Hindi mo naman talaga ginaya ng totally. You didn't use any assets, you didn't use any, not the same codes, I'm sure. Di ba?
I think yung draw is yung pseudo story behind.
Yun nga eh. Ito pa nakakatawa dyan. PUBG was made from, I forgot, the engine that actually made, from the developers of, the engine that, yung Fortnite, yung developers nila, yung main developers nila, they own an engine. I think it's Unreal eh. Pero,
oo, tama. Epic
diba?
Games?
It's Unreal and, it's Epic Games, it's Unreal, diba? So, hiniram ni PUBG yung software nila to make PUBG. Diba? Tapos they're suing that company still, diba? Kasi gumawa sila ng sarili nila. So, yes, shady kung titingnan mo, pero it's not the same game. And everyone knows it's not the same game. Diba? But the thing is, kasi, I mean, yun nga, malalim pa yung storya eh. There's a lot of things wrong with PUBG versus how, what do you call this, Fortnite is doing things. Diba? Medyo more of,
So would you say na it's boils down to quality assurance?
oh, hindi lang yon, hindi lang yon. I think, not even getting into how the game plays, pero how they handle their business. Kasi, in PUBG, you don't have player progression. Yun lang yun. You come in, yes, may level and everything, pero you're wearing the same clothes as unless you buy, unless you do RNG and you get yung look mo may iba, di ba?
Pero cosmetic lang lahat yan, di ba?
Oh, yun nga, cosmetic lang lahat. Pero there's no like player progression and everything like that. Pero I think Fortnite
Ah,
is trying to do that, di ba? So ibig sabihin kahit paano, oh, ay mataas na to, magaling na to. Di ba? Pero sa PUBG, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know kung magaling talaga yung player na yon. Di ba? You wouldn't get that respect compared to Fortnite. Alam mo nang may costume na yung tao. Hindi naman ibig sabihin bumili na yun. Marami
mm,
lang nagawa yun dun sa game kaya niya nakuha yung itsura niya.
oo,
Mm. Di ba?
yeah.
Kasi most of...
By seasons yung ano eh, yung Fortnite. Eh.
Oh, exactly. Di ba? So, makikita mo talaga yung progression ng isang um, seasoned player versus sa PUBG na China number one yung lumalabas. Pag naglaro ka kasi walang ano yun eh, walang region lock eh. Ang PUBG, hindi siya region lock. So everyone you're playing with is from another country far away from yours. So the lag is terrible kasi the server
How
is
about,
struggling to like put you guys all together.
pero PC.
PC, oo. Pero
Hindi
ganun
yung
din, I
PC,
think oh, PC lang. Wala yung crossplay.
hmm.
I think Fortnite did that once, di ba? Nag-crossplay sila lahat.
And then may
Nag-crossplay
crossplay ang ano,
Xbox and
Fortnite.
PS4.
Um, Xbox to PS4. Tama ba?
Uh, oh, I think Xbox and PS4
Tsaka,
kasi
alam ko kasi PS4 to PC. But ang
hindi
Nintendo ata,
uh,
wala ata siyang
uh,
crossplay.
hindi ko
I'm
sure.
not sure kung which one
Alam ko
yung
yung
ano.
Xbox and PS4 nagkahulihan eh. Kasi there was this player who's playing an Xbox pero also knows how like yung PSN network works. Yung
Mm.
how they set up their usernames and everything. Na you can't parang I forgot kung may underscore or what. I have to
Mm.
look it up. Parang may bawal na character sa PS4 na gawin ka. Pero yung character na yon, nakalaro niya dun, nung naglalaro siya ng Xbox, has that character. So, na-research niya. So, he had to go to his PSN and PS4 to actually look for the particular player. And nakita niya. And was like,
Mm.
shit, nag-crossplay kami. So, oh, report na, syempre, Kotaku already got it again. So, it's like,
Mm.
totoo ba yan? So, syempre, nagkagulo yung community. Nag-crossplay na tayo. Ganyan. And then here comes the giant, Sony, is like, tigilan niya na. Bakit niya in-open yun? Di ba? Syempre,
Ah,
tamang deny naman to mga Fortnite developers, tong Epic Games. So, it's like, hindi, nagkamali lang. Baka may glitch lang. Inayos na namin yung bug. Pero I think they tested it eh. I think they literally tested it. So,
possible.
oo, tinesting talaga siguro nila. Shady eh. Pero yung mga tweets ng Epic Games head developers, like, parang ano eh, alam niya, he knows what's going on. So it's like, di ba, parang, why can't we be friends?
Oh, kasi 'di ba? Yung expression na rising tides raises all ships. 'Di ba?
Ano
Pag
no?
kunyari yung
Oo nga.
kung lahat kasi ito yung problem ng ano eh, SOTOR. I played SOTOR. Eh. May time na parang wala ng tao,
Yung Star
'di
Wars,
ba?
The Old Republic online.
Oo.
I play that. Man, isa ako sa mga secretly in love sa game na yon. Kasi, I mean,
Collector's
yeah, I
edition binili
agree.
mo.
Exactly. I agree na parang, I agree with everything that people are saying, you know. Pero, ang ganda kasi ng storya niya eh.
Oo.
And, and,
It's
I mean,
BioWare.
BioWare. Talagang, andun pa yung, talagang makikita mo na BioWare stories and everything.
Mm-mm.
Makikita mo talaga yung love na ginawa nila dun eh. The gameplay is the same as any
Mm.
MMORPG, di ba? Sometimes it's even worse than other MMORPG. Pero the thing is, yung sa akin lang talaga dun, I mean, the first character I made was already a Sith. It's a Sith assassin. So it's like, ngayon lang ako nakakuha ng game na makakahawak ako at pinaghirapan ko yung lightsaber ko eh. Diba? Sama kita ng game na pinaghirapan mo lightsaber mo. Di ba? From start to finish, oh, Sith ka. Akala mo lightsaber ka kagad? Wala! Meron kang stick. So you have to go through all these loopholes until the end of like the first tutorial area, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Parang tutorial area nila, yung parang beginner's area. And then after that, di ba, bibigyan ka ng lightsaber.
Oo.
For the Jedi's, I think you will have to earn it, di ba? You got it. Parang alam mo na yung gagawin mo eh. Mas maganda actually pag Jedi ka eh. Sa Sith kasi parang, oh, ito na yung lightsaber sa ganun sa ano eh, sa Sith. Pero I mean, I still love that game. For all it's worth. I think they had a sale earlier this year and I grabbed it. I was like, may 13th month ako eh, bakit? So binili ko. I think I got all the expansions. And
Ay,
I
time.
could
Are we talking about yung KOTOR or yung online?
yung online.
Okay. Oo,
Yung
maganda
online.
yun.
Oh, yung online. Kasi meron silang ni-launch yata para ano sila parang lahat na ng expansion makuha mo
Mm-mm.
and you can play yung parang in up to date ka lang nila para hindi ka na nahuli. Kasi
Oo.
I think the last time I bought with them was like what was that? I think the first expansion yung sa Hot, yung Hot
Ah,
Cartel. Yun.
oo.
Yun yung last play ko. I was like, hindi ko na talaga pinagbigyan yung para sa sige na okay na marami na mga ibang MMORPG na I give up. Diba? Kasi wala kang tao.
Oo nga. Yun lang
Alam mo
mas
yun?
yung malungkot dun eh.
Oo nga
Lalo na
eh.
yung dreaded na server mergers.
Ay, alam mo ba
Pag
yun?
narinig mo na yun, alam mo
Oo.
nang going down na yun.
Oo, bukod sa nagpapalit yung name ng character ko. Ano may initial na name ng ano ko, character ko? Kasi ano yun,
Mm.
Sith. Yung first ko is Assassin, pero hindi ko tinapos yung story. Parang I just ended in the middle and all that. Sabi ko, mas
Mm.
gusto ko yata ala Darth Vader. So, kumuha ko ng Sith Warrior, di ba? So, nag-Sith Warrior ako, yun yung natapos ko up to end level.
Mm.
Ano ang pangalan nun? Darth the Ghoul. Oo, para lang, I mean, just to an ode to, again, Filipino gamer fans. Kung ba'y naglalaro ng Pilipino, ang pangalan, Darth the Ghoul. Ay, Pilipino to.
Oo.
Always I do that. I mean, I always do that pagdating sa games. Nung, I think, Guild Wars era, uh, yung first Guild Wars,
Mm.
ang pangalan nung, may character akong ginawa doon. I think he's a warrior, and the guy was black, was dark skinned.
Mm.
His name was Manong Guard. So, para lang, alam mo yun, para may Pilipino, uy, Manong Guard. Ay, Pilipino ka, di ba? Ay, kasi, di ba? Oh, I even joined nung doon ako naka-join doon sa isang clan, I think.
Yung pangalan ng clan Jaguars.
Oh, yung Ateneo, I think Ateneo, this is an Ateneo clan and all that. And it was a
Mm.
cool clan name kasi, I forgot, basta, the Golden Aguila or something like that was their clan name. That's the main clan, yung Golden Aguila.
Mm.
And then kung casual player ka lang, White Aguila ka, yung ganon. So, parang
Guild.
hinihiwalay-hiwalay nila. Oo. So, pero I think, I don't know, baka yung mga baka main talaga nila is Blue Agila kasi, di ba? Ateneo sila.
Yeah.
So, yun yung group ko noon, kaya puro Pilipino.
So, yung first na online RPG mo would be Guild Wars.
I think so. Hindi, pare. Hindi yun ang first ko. Ano ba? Tantra Online?
What?
Oo, pare. Kasi syempre, uso yung Counter-Strike doon and the rest were playing, I think, Ragnarok. Yung panahon na yan.
Oo.
Where everyone was
Yung,
playing Ragnarok, I wasn't. I was like, ayoko ng Kenkoy na graphics doon eh. Parang sabi ko, gusto ko yung 3D, yung ganyan, yung batayan talaga, ganyan. And, yun ba, here comes ABS-CBN sponsoring a freaking MMORPG. I was like, oh, Tantra online. Yeah. I think it was based. Of course, Tantra was based on.
sobrang luma na.
Hindi mo na maalala? Ay, naku.
Naalala ko. Pero hindi ko
Naalala mo?
nagustuhan.
Hindi ko na nagustuhan. Hindi, I mean, I was forced into it. I was like, wala namang choice kasi walang iba eh, di ba? And then, MU online, di ba?
Oo,
Mu,
MU.
Mu online. So, ano pa ba? Mu online. Tapos, I mean, the rest of free. Yung RF online, Fly, Rose. Yeah, all of those lumabas kasi nung, di ba, ang panahon natin sa work ng dati. So parang, sige, libre eh. Free to play eh. Sige lang, install lang ng isa. Hindi nga ako nag-install kasi wala akong computer noon eh. I was like playing in internet cafe. So, ano meron kayong ganito, meron kayong ganito. Sige, login ka lang, gawa ka lang, di ba? Free, magawa ka lang, may email ka lang, gawa ka ng, and
Mm-mm.
you're good to go. Di ba? May top up pa sila doon, di ba? I think Ragnarok was a top-up game, di ba? Mabayad ka
Oo.
yata. So yun. Yung mga games doon, di ba? Pero I was an addict of Counter-Strike before. So, yun. Pag walang naglalaro, ay wala ba laro? O sige. Pag naglalaro ako iba. Di ba? Di ba? Tapos yung staple ng lahat ng internet cafe up to this day, GTA San Andreas.
Oh my God.
Di ba? Hindi na mamatay yung laro na yun eh.
Hanggang ngayon?
Oo. Hindi naman. Parang sa lahat lang ng internet shop, automatic ini-install nila yung GTA. Kasi may mga bata, I think yun yung beginner's game nila. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and
GTA
to all you guys
beginner
listening out,
beginner game ng bata.
oo. Kasi, di ba, it's easy eh. Di ba? So,
Oh,
correct me if
pero
I'm
kung ano
wrong.
yung mga ginagawa mo doon, di ba?
Oo. Di ba? Gangster yun, di ba?
Correct.
Gangster ka dun eh. So, yun yung laro kasi I don't think kids younger than like I think there are like 8 years olds playing that game, even though it's not for them. They don't care what the story is. They just
Sabagay.
care that it's open world. Then you can do anything you want.
Ah,
Diba? Kuha ka ng
kaya
kotse, drive
na-appreciate
ka.
ko yung balik tayo sa sa Star Wars na online.
Ah, ah.
Kaya na-appreciate ko yun kasi hindi ka ang tawag ito, hindi ka stop na magbasa eh.
Oo,
Yung story continues, tapos voice over na lang yung story.
exactly. Even the smallest character na parang you can pwede mo nga malagpasan yung character na yun, would still talk to you eh. And have a conversation, have a dialogue, di ba? Yung
Mm.
parang, yung mga,
Hindi ka forced magbasa at mag-click ng next.
oo, kasi di ba may main storyline, tapos may side quest. Meron side quest eh, na hindi mo naman kailangan talagang puntahan. Pero kung completionist ka, eh di sige,
Mm.
kausapin mo, puntahan mo. Di ba? Ang lungkot ko lang noon kasi ang ini-skip ko kasi doon is dahil hindi nga ako, I mean, I'm a casual MMORPG player.
Mm.
I only went hardcore ng Guild Wars.
Mm.
Tsaka, I don't know if you've heard of it, yung Warhammer Online. Doon ako
Oo.
nag-hardcore lang. Oo. Pero yung the rest, talagang casual ako. So pagdating sa SWORD, sige, casual na lang ako. Kasi you can play casual eh. Dahil you can even play single player, you can finish it, di ba? Mag-isa ka lang, wala kang katulong. Mahirap, pero you can finish
Ano
it
to?
on your
Yung
own.
Warhammer?
Hindi, itong SWOTOR,
Oo.
Star Wars The Old Republic. So, kaya mo mag-isa yun eh. Walang issue eh. Skipan mo na lang yung mga mahihirap, yung mga, what do you call this? What's the term there for like, you need a company like dalawa kayo or something? May mga missions, pero story mission din siya, kaya lang kailangan mo ng kasama. Mga,
May mga
ah,
sidekicks.
mga ganun. May story din siya eh. May kakausapin
Mm-mm.
ka, may drama din siya and everything, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Pang build din ang story mo. Yeah. I just hated yung, ano eh, the way they rendered yung ibang armor. Parang hindi tapos, para siyang, ano, yun lang yung
Madali.
comment ko doon. Kaya lang kasi, the reason why that's my pet peeve pagdating sa SWOTR is because most of the time, kino-close up yung character mo eh, di ba?
Oo.
You could get away with it
Yung mga
pag
cutscene.
oo, pag naglalaro. Pero pag sa cutscene, nagsasalita ka, so dapat, pag kinlose up ka, at least maganda yung itsura ng armor mo. Di ba?
Mm-mm.
Ang dami kong inulit na character doon. Yung itsura, yung ano, kasi pagdating sa dialogue, ang pangit mo. Ang pangit mo ulitin yun na. Hindi ko natapos mo ba lahat ng storylines doon?
Sa ano lang, yung gunslinger lang inano ko eh. After
Gunslinger.
that, sold.
Ah,
I tried
ako,
yung iba pero yun na
hindi mo
yung time
type.
na nag-wane na yung population.
Ah, oo nga. Ang gusto kong, actually, ang pinakamagandang storyline doon, yung sa Imperial Agent. And I liked it.
Sabi nga nila.
Uh, um, kaya lang kasi, I got stuck on this particular boss. Eh dahil wala ngang population, alam
Hmm.
mo yun, hindi ako makapag-invite. Parang, kailangan ko lang tulong para patayin tong boss na to. Hindi ko mapatay, eh mag-isa ako. Eh syempre, weakling ako dahil, di ba, hindi naman ako tank eh.
Mm-mm.
Sabi yung kalabang ko, tank yata. Tapos, papatayin ako niya. Healer ako eh. Eh, walang silbi yung ano ko. Yung companion ko, alam mo yun. Ba't ka namamatay ka agad? Ay, isa pang malungkot na story sa SWOTR ko, pare. When I returned, yung yan, merong what do you call this, meron silang promo and all that. So I
Mm-mm.
returned, parang yung buong clan ko, wala na. Wala na, ako na lang yung member.
Ikaw na yung lead.
Ako na yung leader. So, pang malungkot naman ako dito. Lemmings yung pangalan namin eh. Dark Lemmings, I think. Dark Lemmings. Kasi, ano eh, Empire eh. I was like, kahit ako na lang. Ang hirap naman bitawan kasi di ba mahal gumawa ng sariling clan.
Mm-mm.
So sabi ko, free na nga to eh. Mag-i-invite ba ako? Sabi ko, sige na lang, kahit ako na lang mag-isa. Sabi ko, sakala ako. Kasi hindi naman ako magsiseryoso na eh. Yung ganda na nga
Mm-mm.
ng mga mounts nila dun eh. Ang dami naman freebie nung ano, kasi may mga freebie pag kinuha mo yung promo.
Fine.
And I think,
Online pa ba yung ano?
Alan,
Yung Star Wars
I think it's
online?
still online. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's still online. Um, kasi even my son shares the account with me.
Okay.
Ang sabi ko lang sa kanya is that don't share the same server para hindi tayo
Mm.
magkalituhan sa characters. So he has his own server. I think yung nakuha niya pa yung maganda eh. Kasi
Na
I
marami.
think RPG yung nakuha niyang ano eh.
Ah,
Oo, RPG eh. Kasi ako ma-PvE ako eh. Ayoko sa PvP server because marami kasing nang to-troll, di ba?
oo.
'Di ba? Nasa base ka lang, tapos high level siya. Basta, hindi mo ko pinapatay. Paano ako makatapos? 'Di ba? Nagka-travel ka lang, babaraling ka. So, yeah. Yeah. Pero maganda sana siya, di ba?
Oo.
Nasira siya sa maraming ano, ilom sana, maganda sana yung ilom, di ba? Yung Planet Ilom.
Mm.
Maganda sana yung concept ng Planet Ilom, talagang, as in, Empire versus, ano na, Republic na, di ba?
Mm.
Kaya lang, wala eh. Hindi sila na ano eh. Maganda sana yung ano na yan, concept na yan. Di ba? Tapos, yung concept na every base you see, some bases you see has like this contested, ano, di ba?
Would
Contested.
you say na ang online RPG ay wala ng, I mean,
Is it
wala na
dying?
siyang hatak to get people? I mean, it's a dying, ano na.
Well, kasi I think ang usap-usapan ngayon sa gaming community is like, wala nang matino kasing MMORPG. I watched
Mm.
this guy in YouTube called Lazy Peon. I think he's called, yeah, Lazy Peon. And most of his content, he's a WoW player. WoW hardcore siya noon. He left
Mm.
WoW because wala na, there's nothing more to do. Umalis na rin yata yung mga guildmates niya and everything. So, yun. So he went on to others. So he started this channel reviewing all MMORPGs out there, including Asian, kahit hindi pa nare-release sa States. Gagawa siya ng paraan, ano siya, magsa-server siya.
Mm.
Ano yung,
VPN?
VPN siya para lang makapaglaro nun. And may kaibigan naman siya to ano, baka raw may English, minsan may English pa, minsan wala. Pero he still reviews the game, parang first impression ng laro na yon. And his critiques of the games is the same. At a certain level, mabilis ka mag-level up and everything. Pero Asian MMORPG, most of the time, is dead. Why? Kasi yung business model niya. So yung business model niya is um, mostly pay to win,
Mm.
'di ba? Pay to win siya, bayad ka, magkakakuha ka ng malakas na item, gamitin mo sa game, wala na, unbeatable ka na. So,
Oo.
'di ba? Marami siyang ganon. O kaya minsan pay to win, tataas yung level mo, 'di ba? Lalakas yung
Oo.
armor mo, ganyan. May advantage ka pag nagbabayad ka, which is mali, 'di ba? The only decent MMORPGs na ngayon is very few na lang. I think there's only one that's being celebrated, which is yung Warframe. And
Warframe?
it's yeah, it's even different from from the real MMORPG. Pero this is RPG din, and it's online.
Mm.
Pero it's like third person shooter. So para siyang Destiny, 'di ba? A huge middle finger to Destiny 'yun eh. Kasi free siya eh. And it hasn't,
Oo.
walang Warframe 2. Ang Destiny is already Destiny 2, di ba?
Oo.
Di ba? So, yung Warframe ngayon talagang inaano. Kasi pero the same thing is, it's a grind, katulad ng Destiny. Pero when we talk about open world RPGs, like yung the way we're used to, yung mga WoW, parang ganyan, wala talaga eh. WoW pa rin eh. Ngayon,
Mm.
kaya ang nakakalungkot, WoW is already dying. The player base is still in the millions.
Oo.
Pero, there's nothing to do there. Ang mga nandun na lang is, because there's nothing out there, they can't leave WoW. They're
Oo.
still, they're still paying $15 a month. Pero, yun, wala silang kapalit eh. Walang kapalit eh. Marami na nag-claim, di ba, na, oy, WoW killer, WoW killer. Pero
Ah.
after, di ba, after a few months, walang content. Patay.
Mm. Mm.
Yun, usually, yun ang problema sa MMORPG. I think, a friend of mine even,
And
invited me to play Black Desert, which is, wow, ang ganda naman talaga ng graphics niya. But the thing
but
is,
content-wise,
content-wise, there's a lot to do. Pero the content is gearing towards PvP. Only PvP at the end.
uh,
So you're gearing towards PvP, matapos mo man yung content niya, lahat ng stories niya, lahat ng ano niya, PvP pa rin siya at the end. So, maraming na-turn off doon kasi parang wala bang PvE lang kasi hindi naman kami mahilig sa PvP. Diba? Kung gusto namin PvP, parang arena-arena lang. Pero not exactly labanan tayo. Diba? Guild
Like
Wars.
yung For Honor.
Oh, Guild Wars 2 has turned its boat around kasi they've started churning up content again because of their new expansion. I even bought that pero I haven't played yet kasi parang na-overwhelm ako sa dami naman ng content. Parang sabi ko, ano nang gagawin ko? Ang dami nang gagawin. Hindi ko na alam from the last time I played it. Sabi ko, ako-overwhelmed. So sabi ko, sige, one day I'll sit down and play this again. Diba? Well, hopefully with the help of friends. Kasi wala na rin yung, tinanggal na ako sa clan kasi inactive ako. Sa guild ko, tinanggal na So sabi ko, hirap mag-relearn Lalo na kung pinalitan nila yung buong meta ng game. So, the one that I used to play before is a different one now. So, ayun. Ang natatamad pa ako magbasa ng manood ng mga guides online So, ikaw, meron ka bang MMORPG ngayon?
Wala. Time commitment yung
Yun
yung
nga, exactly.
MMORPG.
Exactly. So, that's also the reason why online multiplayer is gaining ground. Katulad ng yung Dota, yung
Quick in, out.
Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, what do you call this? What's this other game from Ubisoft then? For Honor, ganyan. So, ito kasi yung a mix, they welcome hardcore, both hardcore and casual gamers And you're not gonna be left out. Ibig sabihin, Rainbow Six Siege, parang Counter-Strike lang yan Maglaro ka ngayon, okay ka pa rin bukas kung di ka, isa-isang buwan kung di ka maglaro Diba? Okay ka pa rin They're not changing their meta Kasi yun lang yun. Ganyan ka, maglaro ka, magantay ka, laro kayo, tapos yan, alisan mo na. So, yun din. Although, ako rin minsan na-turn off ko sa ganun. Pero, ngayon yung trend. Pero still, there should be, yung hinahanap natin is, sana may pumalit sa WoW. Kasi parang, di ba?
Alam mo, feeling ko, walang papalit sa WoW because, like you said nga, yung MMORPG na genre mismo, I don't think na maraming maglalatch sa ganyang klaseng game na.
Oo nga Unless it's like, talagang di ba? I mean, revolutionary, katulad ng WoW noon. Di ba? Kasi WoW noon is, ang dami niyang sinimula na rules Ang dami niyang rules na sinet for MMORPGs in general. Kahit hindi siya original, kahit hindi siya yung first, di ba? Kasi marami nang nagsimula noon. Pero, they couldn't
refine
really, hindi niya nire-refine yung rules and everything. So, ngayon, lahat based sa WoW. So, yung mga sinasabi nilang WoW killer, pinapatay nila. I mean, Guild Wars 2 made they set the trend for, ito yung other side ng WoW, ibig sabihin, hindi siya monthly payment, hindi siya ganyan, and it's different, tapos hindi ka kailangan, magbabayad ka lang siguro for expansion, pero the rest is always free, as long as you're there playing. Pero, the thing is, yun nga, yung mga traditionalist na, ay, sanay kami sa WoW hinahanap namin katulad ng ganong klaseng content. Pero gusto namin, improve na. So, mga traditionalist, mahirap talagang labanan kasi sila yung may mga Di ba? Yeah. Wow, hindi mo maalis yung mga million-million yan Di ba? Million yan. Hindi man sila 10 million na ngayon. Di ba? I think it's around 6 or 5 million, but it's still 5 million. Bigger than what bigger than the player base of like PUBG and everything. So, malaki pa rin talaga yung community na yan. Pero yun nga, wala na kasing papalit. Dapat yung Titan sana, di ba? Kaya na naging Overwatch. Ay, tama ba yan? Titan?
Titan yung project name niya.
Tapos ginamit na lang nila yung assets to make Overwatch. So, yeah, sad. na sana may pumalit. Kasi maganda sana yung concept eh. Pero yun nga, hindi raw nag-work. Siguro naisip din nila yun na parang hindi natin mapantayan.
Or
Ini
probably they can see na hindi nila ma-improve of what is there na.
exactly. Iniisip ko nga eh, para sabi ko, bakit hindi na lang sila World of StarCraft o kaya World of Diablo. Di ba? Exciting din yan. Kaya lang, di ba, short-lived malamang yung mga buhay na yan compared to Warcraft. Di ba? So,
Ito,
yun. Hmm.
ito may nakita ko sa BioWare. Anthem. Ano ba to?
Anthem. Well, Anthem is, I think, EA's version of Destiny din eh. EA's version of the Destiny trend. Medyo nahuli na sila kasi everyone hates the concept of, Destiny. Even Destiny 2, it's getting a lot of flack. Pero since the Division has the Division 2, and it's gonna continue the same type of game, third-person shooter to. Third person, I think in Destiny you can switch from first person to third person. Anthem, I think, is the same. You can switch from third person to first person. Um, Division you cannot go first person. Pero it's the same concept. Um, loot game din siya.
Mm,
Loot game din siya. RPG din siya. Um, pero this time, so para siyang Battletech din. Kaya lang, medyo mas maliliit lang yung mga suits. Kumbaga parang suits yan, parang lahat Iron Man kayo. May kanya-kanya kayong what I call the suits,
mm,
may specialization. So yung mga heavy suits is mukha kang mech na talaga. Tapos yung mga maliliit naman is parang wala lang, parang tao ka lang. Parang tao ka lang kaliit. Pero it's the
mm.
same. So, I think it's gonna be instanced. It's not gonna be open world.
Okay. Lobby
Yeah.
style?
Oo. Probably lobby instance din siya. Um, pero yung, what do you call this, yung map kasi malaki. So, so instance siya, pero yung area malaki. Pero ika nga, the only time you're gonna enter there, if you enter there, players can join you, pero no player will be there. So you either join a session or create your own session. Based dun sa mga gameplay na ginagawa nila. Kasi they're not defining much because parang pinapalabas nila, hindi, alam nyo na itong genre na to. Ganito lang siya, ganyan. Tapos sinasabi lang nila, hindi, walang loot boxes, walang ganyan, wala tong ganyan. Pero we'll see kasi EA eh. Di ba? Wala eh, kaya natatakot ako eh. I fear kasi right now, it's rumored that
Mm.
Dragon Age 4 is in development.
BioWare
So,
din to, di ba?
BioWare din. Nakakatakot lang kasi yung kalalabasan nun. Because of the failure of Andromeda. Mass Effect Andromeda.
Mm-mm.
Diba? Eh, usually, kung ano yung engine ng Mass Effect, yun din yung engine ng Dragon Age.
So
Diba?
yung complaints ba is about graphic, hindi yung
Oo, yung
gameplay?
una.
Mm.
Kasi parang patay yung mga mukha daw ng yung mga, nag-patch up sila, inayos na nila. Pero parang too late the hero na kasi ayaw na namin.
Mm.
Sabi niya, lame din naman yung story eh. So yung mga gamers naghanap na lang sila ng butas na hindi na nilaro. Of course, malamang tinapos din nila yon pero they didn't like it. Kasi the jury is out. Ang
Mm.
pangit na yung laro nyo. So yun, para kasing, hindi siya, I mean, supposed to be connected to the first three. Like, homage, tapos may bagong hero. But the thing is, hindi lumabas yun. So, hindi siya kasing epic ni Shepard eh. So, eh, may hate na lang sila sa Andromeda. Naayos yun eventually. Ngayon, maayos na yata. Pero yun nga, too late the hero na. Maraming ganun eh. Hindi makapag-comeback. Pero yun, marami naman nakakapag-comeback. Well, so yun. What else? I think we're gonna continue with the other topics on another time. we've talked about. I hope you guys enjoyed. Kung meron kayong mga comments and suggestions about what we talked about today, you can always message us. We're still coming up with with all of it, so it's in rough shape. So bear with us if you have suggestions, even logos and everything. Man, go ahead and hit us up on that. Yeah. So we're really starting up. Pero I hope you like today's session. So yon, I think that's it. All right. So yeah, we'll see you again soon. Probably next week we'll have another podcast. So I'll see you guys soon. All right. You guys have a good day. And yeah, wag masyadong puro ka laro. All right.
Puro Ka Laro is created by Jamie de Guzman and John Lopez. Follow our Facebook page at Puro Ka Laro. To support the show, go to ko-fi.com/Puro Ka Laro. That's ko-fi.com/Puro Ka Laro.